Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm making beef pepper steak, or you could call it beef and broccoli, you could call it beef stir fry. Started out it was going to be beef pepper steak, but then I like broccoli, so I decided I would put some of that in there. But both beef and broccoli and beef pepper steak are basically just stir fry. So that's what we're making today. And I bought a pound of sirloin, which I cut into strips. And I'm gonna add a bunch of stuff to it so that well, I've already cut up my vegetables, but normally while I let the meat set for a little while, I let the marinade soak into the meat. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon of cornstarch in there, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, I've got a teaspoon each of brown sugar and fresh grated ginger here. Put that in there. I'm using garlic paste, so I'm going to use a couple cloves worth. Whoops. And I'm just going to mix this up. And normally I let this sit while I chop the vegetables, but I've already chopped the vegetables, but I will still let this sit for a little bit, and then I will come back and we'll do the cooking part of the video. So you just mix this up. You want to get the cornstarch on all the meat, and you want to get those flavors on all the meat. And then you want to have everything ready once you start cooking, because it's a very fast process once you start. So that's why you got to have everything chopped and everything ready to go. So this is mixed pretty good. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and we're going to start cooking everything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is steam the broccoli for just 2 minutes. I threw a 1/4 cup water in there, and I'm going to throw the lid here on my electric skillet, and I'm just going to let it sort of steam for about 2 minutes, just so it's not totally crunchy when we eat it. Everybody has their own idea about how they like their vegetables, whether they like them to be crisp or whether they like them to be soft. And we do like them to be somewhat crisp, but not, not like totally raw. So they steamed there for 2 minutes. And now we're going to add the rest of the vegetables in. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of oil in there. I'm using olive oil. You could use avocado oil. You could use vegetable oil. So I'm going to throw the green peppers in there. Give those a stir. And they're going to cook a little bit right now. And then when I put the meat back in with the vegetables, they'll cook a little bit more then as well. Right now I'm adding some fresh ground black pepper and just letting these veggies kind of hang out and cook a little bit. Like I said, the broccoli now has been cooked a little bit, and the peppers and the onions are cooking a little bit now. It only takes a few minutes. And before I started cooking, I made some rice, so I've got that ready to go for when it's all done. You could probably also put this on top of noodles. That would be good, like lo mein noodles, ramen noodles, that sort of thing. That would be really good. In a second here, I'm going to pull all these vegetables out and put them on a plate. And now I'm going to get ready to cook the meat. I'm going to put another tablespoon of oil in there and get the meat in there and just spread it around so it's in a single layer and so it's not too crowded. That way it can get kind of brown. more ground black pepper. That's one of the best parts of this dish is the freshly ground black pepper. And you're just going to stir it around a little bit, and it doesn't have to cook all the way because we're going to put the vegetables back in there. We're going to add a little more soy sauce, and then we're going to add some water, which is what's going to create the sauce. Because remember when we started out, we added some cornstarch and soy sauce to the meat. And so after we cook these vegetables in with the meat a little bit more, we're going to add some water and a little more soy sauce, and then that's going to thicken up because of the cornstarch that we added to the meat in the beginning. So here I'm adding the water, and now it's only going to just take a couple minutes, and that sauce is going to thicken up. The steak will finish cooking, and the vegetables are getting just a little bit more done too. So it looks pretty darn tasty, and all we have to do now is get our plate full of rice and put this right on top of it, and we've got a nice meal. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit subscribe. It's free to you and it helps me to make more videos. Thanks for checking out my video, and you take care.